Hi, this is Gidon Ariel of Root Source, speaking to you from my home studio in Ma'aleh Hever, not far from Hebron, overlooking the Judean desert. It's just Friday afternoon, just before Shabbat, so our house is a little bit not beautiful, but I think it is anyway. Anyway, we're talking today about the very surprising Donald Trump victory in the recent American elections. I've gotten a few questions about my perspective, and I'm happy to share them with you. First of all, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu enthusiastically congratulated Donald Trump after his upset win. As a member of the Likud yourself, I'm a member of the Likud Central Committee, what are the biggest changes that Netanyahu is hoping to get from Donald Trump relative to Barack Obama? Okay, what we've seen here in Israel is, I think what a lot of people in America also, we're looking forward to change, but we understand that anything can happen. Really, we're so used to an American perspective that is based on the State Department's traditional, let's call it hesitance to be positive towards Israel and Israel's ability and right to decide what she should do regarding Judea and Samaria, the West Bank, and Jerusalem, that people are a little bit hesitant to wonder how, if this is really going to happen, if we're going to wake up and pinch ourselves and things will not be as good as we hope. But what we have heard is that Trump is strongly expecting to move the United States embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, and after that, it stands to reason that many countries in the world will follow suit and recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, move their embassies here to Jerusalem, and ultimately strengthen Israel's right to its own capital, the eternal capital of the Jewish people and of the state of Israel. Another very important aspect is Donald Trump's perspective on negotiations between Israel and the Palestinians. And Donald Trump, of course, is a businessman who recognizes that you cannot force an agreement on anybody, and it's very important, as I've heard him say frequently, that we allow the Israelis and the Palestinians to negotiate themselves without any external pressure on them from the United Nations and similar. And I think that that is also something that we're looking forward to. But in general, I think that it's important that the United States renew its relationship with Israel, a positive, healthy one, as again, Donald Trump or one of his spokesmen said, there will be no daylight between Israel and the United States. That means that there will be a close relationship with Israel and the United States. We've spoken about that. We've heard Netanyahu speak about that during Barack Obama's tenure, but now we have a feeling it's going to be, and we're hoping that it'll be stronger and more significant. My next question is, how is the left wing in Israel reacting to the Trump win? Very differently from that in the United States. On the one hand, we are used to there being a left and a right in Israel, but when we're talking about international relations, then there usually, for the most part, is more of the closing of the wagons and what we call a loyal opposition. And so the left is not as loud and vocal, if I can use that term, as what seems to be the left in the United States right now, where we're seeing significant demonstrations, I would even say violent riots, at least from what I can see on the media. protesting the fair and square Democratic win of the presidency by Donald Trump, with both Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton conceding the win. So I don't understand why people are doing that and how far that's going to go, but I do recognize that it is a troubling development, and I hope that it'll end, because we have to look up to the United States. We, meaning everybody in the world, has to look up to the United States as an example of dealing with issues in a democratic and positive way. The next question is, what might Obama do during the lame duck period of his presidency that could harm Israel before Donald Trump takes office? I'm not worried about this at all, because Barack Obama doesn't have to focus on Israel in a month or two when he's trying to stay clean. Barack Obama had one of the highest positive records. No, that's not the right word. People had the highest public opinion of himself over the past few months, and there's no reason for him to start fighting against what the United States electorate has decided, and that is a Republican, more conservative, traditional policies that Donald Trump ran on his platform, specifically regarding Israel. So it's hard for Barack Obama, understandably, but he's taking it like a man, and I don't think that he's going to try to do anything with a lame duck, as a lame duck, and so I'm not too worried about that. The last question is, do we see any religious significance to the Trump win? First of all, I think that there's a tremendous religious significance in that. From what I've seen, evangelical Christians with conservative values took responsibility in this election and voted the way that they did. And from what I understand, it was a significant impact in the win of Donald Trump. And I think that that's going to make a big difference in his administration. And I do hope that that will strengthen pro-Israel evangelical Christian activists when they are thinking about what they can do, and they'll feel much more comfortable going to Washington within the framework of CUFI, for example, Christians United for Israel. But of course, the religious significance for this is something that we'll have to see. We bless and praise God for supporting his people, and it's a symbiotic relationship that his people, when I say his people, I mean everybody who loves God and has a relationship with God. We're grateful for him, and we have to thank him, and I know many of my Christian friends have been thanking God for the outcome of this week's election. And I also think that God is smiling upon us, but I think that it's important to not rest on our laurels and continue to thank God and continue to try to follow his commandments. And I think that the most important of his commandments is peace between brothers. Right now, many people on the losing side of the elections are feeling very bitter, and I think it's important for us to, if possible, try to calm them and soothe them. But if that's not possible, it's important to follow the Mishnah, the teaching of the Jewish sages who teach this: just as it is a commandment to say which needs to be said and can be said, it must be said, it is similarly a commandment to refrain from saying that which will not be heard. So if now is not the time to talk to a friend of yours or a Facebook friend who's just going crazy because of the elections, then be quiet. Wait a few days, maybe even a few weeks, maybe go off Facebook for a week or so, and then come back. Because as I always say, the most important thing for God, I think, is that his children play nicely together. So let's all hope that this election will, in fact, be the end of the difficult feelings that we've had between different parts of the American population and in its wake world population, and we will begin to see a time closer to that which will usher in a time of peace on earth and goodwill towards all men. Shabbat Shalom, and thank you very much.